Hey YouTube, it's your Beekeeper here, messing around with some cables for that TerraPro Yamaha quad. All three were stuck completely. It could have really been easily thrown in the garbage, but this is a field fine, garbage picked, essentially quad, and I'm really not looking. I already dumped money into the front clip and cargo rack, and if I don't have to put any more money into this thing for just a workhorse quad, I want to keep it that way. So I've been messing around with the cables. It's just really a game of patience. Initially, if you remember my last video, what I would do, and I've done this plenty of times, you just take a regular old funnel, one that has a hole big enough to slide over whatever crimps or slugs you have on the end of your cable. I wrap it with, in my case, I wrapped it with metal duct tape. You can use regular duct tape, you can use electrical tape. And then I'll put a pipe clamp on there just to keep it from dripping, and then you just fill the funnel, let it passively run through the cable. The majority of the time, if you just have a stiff cable, one that's not completely stuck, the passive gravity-fed system works fine. It works just fine. I've done it dozens of times on shifter cable, or not shifter cables, on clutch cables and brake cables, control cables, that's the word I was looking for. And it works fine. But these guys were so stuck, none of them moved. Well, the clutch cable barely moved, but it was super stiff. This one was completely stuck, and I just got it free, and I want to show you what I do. Is I take some vinyl hose, and I slip it over the end of the cable. Again, you pick a hose with an interior diameter, just kind of big enough to get around stuff and things. And then I do a pipe clamp, right? I run it all the way down onto the crimp, and then I use a pipe clamp to give it, I just have it stuck in there because I was going to try to do a video. But that's how I do it. And then you take compressed air, you fill this with whatever penetrating oil of your choice, and you put 100 pounds of pressure. And let me show you. Now remember, all these, the two brake cables are completely stuck. So let me sit you down and I'll show you how it came out. Just going to hold it. This is how I've been holding it. Just like that. In this case, I'm going to use my wonderful product, Brake Free. In this case, I'm going to use the Brake Free CLP cleaner lubricant. So you fill it with some shmoo of your desire. Come on, this stuff actually, let me use the non-aerosolized because it doesn't have as many bubbles. And I was kind of excited that this one just got free. So let's see how I can do this without spraying myself in my own eyeballs. We're going to put, let's see how I can do here. We put air in this way, but I do need two hands. So let me find a spot to set you down. Hold on. So I'm already dripping oil. This one here is kind of already, the hard part's been done. You see it moves. This had no movement, and I can push it back under its own force. Cable, don't drip out. But here's what happens when you, but here, see, it's still putting out, oh, actually no, it's pretty clean. Where's my rag? You just keep blowing oil through there until it comes out clean. Look at that, it's nice and clean. Nice. Nice. Put your hand over it like this. I use this one with a rubber tip. Go right over the top, or in there, and then. So we're going to call this one good. And again, that's nice. So I'm going to do some lube on it now, because now I know I've got a good free run. I'm going to keep working on these today. I've been pushing fluid in there. This one started, the brake cable started out about here. It was almost like 1.5 inches from the edge of the tube, so it's working its way down there slowly. And this one, I'm not sure what's going on with this one. I had very, very limited movement in the cable, but it's not. It's this one freed up first, so yay. So let me put a little lube in here. I'll bring you back if anything exciting happens here in a minute. So let's go ahead and wrap up this video with where the cables are now. I probably have a total of about 2 hours into these cables. Remember, these cables are obsolete. Of course they are. I can buy used ones off the interweb. You're looking at shipped about $50 a cable, so it's about 150, and then I'm buying someone else's problems. If you'll remember, or if I didn't already state it earlier in this video, the clutch cable, you could pull in the clutch, but it wouldn't release because this clutch cable was really, really stiff. This one was almost, front brake cable was almost completely stuck, and this cable here was completely stuck. And right now I'm just being a weirdo on this because I want them to operate like butter. But this is where they sit right now. This one. Front brake cable, nice. The clutch cable, which was in pretty bad shape. Look at this. It's like butter. But of course this is a straight cable, so this one has the elbow. It's got this 90 in here, which makes it a little more difficult. But I'm really excited about the clutch cable. I got so much dirt blew through this, and I finally got it to where the cable is clean. Yes. I have all the fluid film, which is that lanolin based wax lubricant, run through these. Also a really good rust preventative. And then the one that makes me the most happy is this brake cable here. This front brake cable here was completely stuck. If you'll remember, both the vinyl and the metal sleeve was broken right here at the crimp, right here, and that allowed years of mud and dirt and everything to get in there. So I had to seal it up somehow, right? Because this gets returned from the brake spring, and then when you pull the brake, it pulls on this side. So this isn't a push-pull cable; it's a pull-pull. So all I really needed to do was line this up and then keep the future water and mud and whatever from getting in there. So I did a couple layers of heat shrink tubing, culminating it with this real heavy-duty stuff here. This is line splice stuff that's got the mud on the inside that gets, when it gets warm, it's like a tar. And ooh, mosquitoes, get out of here. Anyhow, so that's where that one sits. But watch this. This one was completely stuck. Completely stuck. And now we're golden. I might have gone too far though. It's hard to do with one hand. And then what I'm basically doing in here is I'm just allowing you can still see there's fluid film still working its way in here. I got on this kind of late on the day. Normally I'll set this out in the sun, and the sun loosens up this fluid film and it'll just gravity feed through here. That's what I had done with the other ones. But this one, you just kind of work it. That's what I've been doing, is just working it like this. And you can see it pulls up bubbles. But it works. It works. You see the bubbles that are coming up. And then what's really cool is this cable's loose enough that you can spin it in the sheath. And that's actually what I did with this one, is I chucked this up in a drill. I used a short length of hose like this, filled it with the carb cleaner, and then I put a drill on this, right? It was setting like this. And then I spun it with the drill bit, and then just in the tightening motion of the cable, the twist was tightening, and it drew the fluid through there, and then all the dirty funk came out on that end. But so they're going to work. These cables are going to work just fine. I think that differential lock cable is pretty sticky. I can't remember if it's the cable that's stiff or if it's the actual diff lock. I would go with the cable though. But I could be wrong. And then the level goes down. It's working its way in there. I mean, this one's done. This one, for all intents and purposes, is done. I don't have a vacation planned up at the ranch. Put a little air in it. See how much it just pushes it all down in there. I don't have a work trip planned for El Rancho, so it doesn't bother me to have this thing sitting here. Actually, that may have been the final push through on that. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. But this one's still showing a lot of dirt. See how it's still percolating? Hopefully that's not too close. So it's still working its way down this whole thing. And then you come down here and you pull the little boot off. Let's see how dirty this... Oh yeah. See, there's still dirt in this one. Look at how much mud comes out of that. Ugh. But that's all right. You just keep running. You keep running the fluid film through there till it runs clean. Anyway, I'm gonna mess with this a little bit more. It's late in the day. Cleo's outside. Oh, buddy. What you eating? Saturday night. Alright, gotta go, gotta run. See ya! Let's see how we do. A little air on this. I think we're through. Ready? Put some air. There it goes. We've got fluid film all the way through the cable. Oh yeah. It's dirty though. A little more air and go. Looks like someone's had bad Taco Bell. Still gritty though. There's a lot of grit that comes out of this. Yeah, it works better when it's on the ground. Okay, we're gonna keep messing with it. Now I gotta go. Gotta run. See ya.